take, one take. One kiss is all it takes. Falling in love with.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. It is a great day, beautiful day here in Central Florida. And what better day would it be than to go to the dyno? Get this car on the dyno finally, my 340i. And we're gonna see how much power we're putting down. Finally. Quick on-ramp pull. Let's go. I'm stoked. So this car is currently on boot mode, stage 2 plus with the Dorch stage 2 high pressure fuel pump. So my butt dyno, and based off all the other numbers that I've seen for this car, I think I'm pushing at like 420 wheel horsepower. So we'll see. And then we're also meeting Ben there with his competition F80 M3 in the last video. So now we're going to finally find out if a 340i stage 2 plus tune is faster or has more power than a stock F80 competition. Alright, so we're pulling up to Orlando Autowerks. It's kind of weird, it's like in a neighborhood. Pulling up to a dyno at some guy's house. Oh, yep. There we go, dyno jet. Let's get it, baby. All right, so here we are at the shop. It's pretty nice. So we got a dyno jet dyno, which according to Ben knows it all. The GOAT. So I mean, he's saying that the dyno jet will produce, you know, higher numbers than a Mustang dyno. And then I'm sure you guys know Brian from Keys Motorsports, of course. So he did a video with B58, a 340, with pretty much the same mods as me, you know, cold air intake, full exhaust system, and he went through the boot mode tunes, so like MPPSK, stage 1, stage 2, and kind of like got his numbers there. But Brian has a special dyno, it's like an axle dyno. So what does that do, Ben? That's like, it produces higher numbers?
Yeah, I mean, so like you'll get a higher number. I mean, you have to see it, think about it like this, right? So when the car is on the dyno, obviously the wheels are spinning the rollers. So it more or less simulates more road force that way, but when the dyno itself is connected to the hub of the car and you're just getting it straight from there, from the axles itself as they rotate, you're kind of losing out on that actual road force that the tires and the wheels, you know, add to the car when it's on like a regular dyno jet or a Mustang dyno, things like that. So you could potentially get a little bit of a higher number, you know, with the type of dyno that, you know, Keys Motorsports, Brian has, things like that. But
true. Yeah, so with that testing, he got into like 408 horsepower, like wheel horsepower on stage 1. And that was actually pushing a little bit more horsepower than stage 2 for boot mode. But stage 2, of course, had more torque. So I'm curious today what the stage 2 plus is going to run on this dyno jet. So I'm thinking, once again, like 420. So we'll see. We'll see.
Slower than the M3. We'll see, baby. Numbers don't lie. Yeah. We'll see.
And then a quarter mile right after this. No, I'm just kidding. So we're on the dyno, and now I'm going to show you how to put your car in dyno mode. So I didn't even know about this before today. So go ahead and press the start stop button once on the F30, and we'll wait for all this to go away. Hit your BC button, hit it again. All right, now I'm going to hold down my odometer button, firmly, press and hold. So you see this, keep holding. All right, now we're gonna hit the button twice. So once and 3 times. Now we're on start roller. And now what I wanna do is I'm gonna hold DSC off. So hold this button down until you see DSC off come up on the cluster. So now we're good. Now I can go ahead, start the car.
Don't forget to press and hold the button again.
Oh, so yeah, press and hold again. There we go. All right, now we can start the car. What we put down?
That was pretty fucking good.
Woo! 373. What a disappointment. Dang, 373. That's a little low. Yeah, so we're gonna let the car cool down a little bit. So the first run was not in Sport Plus, and it was like what, 350 to the wheels, and then he bumped it into Sport Plus, and it hit like 370 to the wheels with like 428 foot-pounds of torque. So pretty underwhelming, but
yeah. I think your second run, I think you hit 528 foot-pounds of torque.
No, that was when they just did a quick.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, there you go. Yeah, I saw that. I was like, hey, whoa.
Jeez. But yeah. So once again, it is July here in Florida. It is like 100 degrees out here, yes. And especially in this shop. So ambient temps are really high. So definitely run into heat soak.
Just a heads up, this is the same dyno that Dr. DM3 used. That was the one in my video where I said his dyno was really underwhelming. He got a 580 to the wheel on a F80 Paul tune E85.
Damn.
So we don't know if maybe the calibration might be slightly off or what, but I think he should be near the 600 mark.
Right. Dang. True, yeah, that's on full E85.
Yeah.
Damn, custom tune. So yeah, we're gonna let it car cool down a little bit and then go for another run. Much more torque. So we're at 368 horsepower, 452 torque. So that's a lot of torque. Spot on.
27.99.
A little bit more torque.
A little bit more torque, a little bit more power by like point whatever.
Yeah. The M3 is putting down exactly what BMW says.
To Poppy! Thank God for BMW, thank God. Alright, so now.
Alright, Ben.
Here we are.
We found out today that competition F80 M3 really puts down some serious power and more than stage 2 plus B58. So
it's like I always told Kyler, if you want a fast car, buy a fast car. Just kidding,
no
just
tuning
kidding.
needed.
Just kidding, guys.
But yeah, I mean, my car would keep up definitely, especially off the line,
Oh, yeah,
because I have the torque there. But yeah, he would reel me in, no doubt.
I mean, there's a lot of things that come into play when it comes to, you know, dyno days and like that. Like again, like you said, guys,
yeah,
my car from the factory comes with more horsepower than Kyler's car does. So the numbers that he put down,
like 100 more.
Yeah, like 100 more. But the numbers that Kyler put down were still pretty impressive. Again, it's very hot outside today, guys. 90 plus degree weather inside is probably 100 plus degrees. So, you know, these are the most accurate numbers that we could get today. But, you know, who knows? Maybe we'll do another dyno day again. Maybe when it's a little bit cooler outside.
February.
Yeah, exactly. February. Maybe we've done a couple of revisions, you know, to both the cars. And maybe we can get some better numbers. So,
yeah, we'll see.
Most
but
definitely.
Also, maybe next time I'll sneak in some E30 or E50. You know?
Full boost, baby. Full boost.
That's right. That's right. All right. Good day, boys.
All right, brother.
Peace.
Thanks.
Jonathan.
Yeah.
Good seeing you, brother. Scoop. Vlogception.
Vlogception.
So a little bit of a disappointing day, but it also is a great day because you got to look on the bright side, is that we learned a lot about my car and how it's running currently. So the good news is that we have some work to do and that the car has a lot more potential for power. And you know, the car already feels crazy. I can't imagine how it's going to feel with some minor adjustments here and there. There are about 5 factors that came into play on why I think my car underperformed today on the dyno. So those would be a newer dyno, high flow downpipe, OTS map, ambient temps in the shop, and spark plug gapping. So before we even left the shop, I completely forgot that I had a high flow downpipe, and I wasn't accounting for that when looking at my numbers on the dyno. So I was probably looking at other people's setups that had catless downpipes for the same type of tune that I have. However, I don't think that swapping my downpipe for a fully catless one would bring me up 40 wheel horsepower. I think at most it would be like 10 to 20 wheel horsepower. I don't know, but from my understanding, I thought the downpipe I had was pretty high flowing, as it only has one 200 cell filter. I do not plan to change my downpipe just yet. There's 2 things that need to happen before this, and so that would be spark plug gapping, which I've already changed all my plugs down to 0.022 from the OEM spec being 0.03. So that's already helped out a lot. The car feels way smoother, especially the power delivery. So, I mean, I think that added maybe plus 5 wheel horsepower. So it's not a huge difference there, but that combined with a custom tune, I think that's going to be the biggest game changer, because I don't think the OTS map is cutting it, especially with the Dorch Stage 2 high pressure fuel pump, with that pump being like the highest flowing fuel pump you can buy from them. So the dyno is newer too, and this is what the dyno operator was telling us, that since it is newer and like the wheels haven't been fully broken in, that you can probably add around 10 wheel horsepower to your final numbers. So that would mean my car came in at like 383 horsepower to the wheels. And my car did get like 452 torque, so like that's a lot of torque. The torque is there, but we're lacking in horsepower, probably because the tune needs to be smoothed out. Originally, my goal for this car was to hit 450 wheel horsepower, and that would definitely be achievable with my current setup, just by adding, you know, an ethanol tune like E50 blend, because this fuel pump can handle full E85 if I wanted to, but I'm not sure if I want to do that. I might just go with an E50 blend and try it again on the dyno. But I do want to break that 400 wheel horsepower mark on pump gas, which I think is achievable with just the custom tune. So I've already reached out to a few custom tuners. One definitely did say that my numbers are looking a little low for some reason, and so they would be able to sort it out. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. If you have any tuner recommendations or any other recommendations on why we got low numbers today for my car. I also want to mention, like, when you're looking at people's dyno graphs online, you really have to trust that their dyno operator fully calibrated their dyno to their car. So for example, on Mustang dynos, the dyno operator at the shop I went to was telling us that Mustang dynos can be manipulated to the upside or downside depending on how they calibrate the weight of the vehicle in the computer. So there's definitely factors like that that could play in to why it looks like someone got like super high numbers with only, you know, a downpipe and a tune on a B58. So just some things you have to like take into consideration and make sure that the dyno operator that you're going to is aware of this and can properly calibrate the dyno for your vehicle. Also, another thing I learned from this is if you're going to be modifying your car and you expect to dyno it down the line, you definitely want to get a baseline number before you do all the modifications to your car. I didn't do this. I jumped the gun and just started modifying before I did any dyno runs. That's another word of advice that I would do, is definitely get some baseline numbers just so you know where you started and what each modification is getting you. So overall, today was like a great learning experience for me, and I learned that my car has a lot more potential with a custom tune, with still like the current mod setup that it has. So I'm super stoked for that, to find out the true power that the car can make with all the mods that are on it currently. Stay tuned for future videos as we're going to do some custom tuning and then get the car back on the dyno to hopefully achieve the numbers that I want. So thank you guys for watching. Smash that like button, hit subscribe for future content. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.